Okay, gonna start here in a bit. This is more for a testing type thing. Okay, so testing this out. Okay, this is an original composition I'm working on that I'm tentatively calling Seaside, and just kind of experimenting with it. Let's see. Okay. So the nice thing about Dorico is it's really cross-compatible with Cubase 14 Pro, which is what I use actually to originally create this, and then I import it into Dorico to try to clean up the script here, the score. And let's just get back. Here's the score part, and then the MIDI. And for my instrument plugins, I'm using a combination of Berlin Free Orchestra and also, I believe, BBC Symphony Orchestra plugins. So the Berlin Free Orchestra is a free software that you can get, and I was just testing it out to see how well it sounded. So I kind of like it, but some things are missing, like timpani rolls and that type of thing. So for those, also for harp glissando, I used the BBC Symphony. So I'll just kind of give this a play, and probably play it through twice, maybe, just to, or maybe a couple of times. I'm probably going to work on it later, and maybe I'll end up streaming that at some point. I'm just trying to see how this works. And so bear with, and remember, this is a work in progress. It is original, and so there you have it. So here we go. Now, a neat thing about Dorico is, and I already know that in my violin part here, that, you know, an instrument can't play all of those chords. And a neat thing about Dorico, oops, I'm not sure if this will show or not on the screen, but there's a proofreading component, and it is highlighting the areas where the instrument, the notes are all on the same string. So obviously a violin can't play more than one note on the same string. So I need to, and I haven't figured out how to do this in Dorico yet, of how to add a staff in here for, you know, splitting the violin parts, or adding another violin, my violin 2 part here to split these up, or even split, you know, violin 1 and 2, splitting the staff there, or the chords, so they can be played. And I just haven't figured out how to do that in the software yet. I didn't. Now, one thing to do, and let's switch to the MIDI, is what I'll end up doing is probably coming in here and adding another track for violin 1, and maybe even splitting part of that up into another violin 2 part. And I just haven't figured out some of the nuances of how to do this in Dorico. I'm still learning, self-taught. So obviously, I'm sure any professional who knows how to do this would be going, oy vey. But anyway, and for example, in the MIDI here, you can see that I had tried, let's see, go to right and go back to the beginning. Let's see. Here, adding a, you know, whether I can add an Ostia staff here to play the higher note, but I couldn't figure out how to do that. So I just added this higher octave above on the first violin part, which I really would like, and I just haven't continued it here. So most likely I'm going to have to split this out because I couldn't hear it when it was playing. So I'm probably going to have to split that out into my MIDI, into another part, and you can see that higher part here, I believe is where it is. And when I look at my track, it shows that I have an upper stem voice 1 and then an Ostia, but I really, again, it's my lack of knowledge of how to use this. But anyway, that's the work in progress so far, and thought I'd share it and just show you what I work on kind of behind the scenes when I'm not practicing my violin. And so the other thing, maybe someone could just let me know if they know how to do this in Dorico. I want to keep when there's like a violin part that's not playing for several measures, keep them in the score. But I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So this is clearly rough draft stage, but the Dorico software is just really cool and works well, like I said, with Cubase. And in Cubase, and maybe I can switch to that. Let's see if I can bring Cubase up. I'll have to share it here in my window. Let's see, recent. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully hopefully I won't overwhelm my computer, but I've got quite a bit of memory and everything, so I should be good here. And bear with as I switch my screen capture here. Might just need to add another one. And let's see. And that's not what I wanted to do. Window capture. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I think that did it. And let's see. So, as an example, let's see, let's get on oboe. Where's my oboe? Woodwinds. So I can go here in the, here we go. You can see within Cubase, let me double check this is showing, it is, okay. Within Cubase, you can click on the actual track and see the notes in the score. And this, like I say, you can export this into Dorico, which is what I did, which has got a bit more wealth or breadth of things that you can manipulate your score with. But it's pretty good to see things here, and you can actually edit the score directly here, either by the notation here or through MIDI. So we'll go back to the key editor. So it's just really, I mean, I'm still such a novice at learning this, but it's just incredible tool for helping get things out of your head onto paper. So, for example, how I started on this piece originally was on the piano, and just a melody, like a 4-bar melody, and then transferred that into a string section, and just kind of started layering different tracks down, including some other instruments, the oboe and the horns and everything, kind of just based on that original few bars of music that I started with. And let's see if I can, how this transfers over on the playthrough. I did notice there was a bug of some type in it on my last playthrough of this, so we'll see if it's still here once I rebooted the system. Cubase still has some bugs in it for sure. So you can also follow the score in Cubase, let's see, by opening the score editor. And you can see how similar it is to, and let me see if this is showing, probably not, no. Okay, have to actually catch a different window. But anyway, you kind of saw the score before, so I'll just go ahead and play this through Cubase. Let's see. Make sure it got everything here. So anyway, that's just a demo of all of this and kind of what I do when I'm not practicing my violin. That'll be a little later. And let's see if I can switch back to the other capture. We'll just hide this one. That should get us back. And some of the mistakes in the notation I haven't transferred over into Cubase yet. I've kind of cleaned it up in Dorico a bit, and then I'll use that to go back and help. So anyway, that's it for now. Just a demo of everything, and I'll see you soon.